Over in the pages of DC Comics, the publisher just went ahead and released a new slate of solicitations advertising comic books on sale for the month of December. This is set to be a really interesting time over for DC Comics because the Beast World crossover is going to be in full swing. This Titans-themed Beast event is also set to impact some other comic book series set in both Gotham and Central City. If that wasn't interesting enough, we're also going to see what writer Philip Kennedy Johnson has in store for his upcoming Action Comics run. My name is Oracle Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and count down 5 of my most anticipated comic book series over for the month of December. Quick asterisk, some of these titles are set to be released over in January as well. Before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. Without further ado here's a look over at Titans Beast World Tour Gotham Issue 1. This is written over from Chip Zdarsky, Grace Ellis, Felker-Martin, Sam Maggs, and Kyle Starks. Featuring art over from Miguel Mendonca, Daniel Hillyard, Shavrin, PJ Holden, and Kelley Jones. We also have a cover of the issue coming in directly from artist Mikel Janin. Want to go ahead and read off DC Comics solicitation text to get you caught up to speed with what's happening over in Titans Beast World Tour Gotham Issue 1. As the bestial infection spreads all over Earth, these shape-shifting spores finally start to take root in Gotham City. Follow the feral tales of your favorite heroes and villains as they lose themselves to their more beastly nature. With stories by Eisner winners Chip Zdarsky, Grace Ellis, and so many more. It's sure to leave you hooting and howling in delight. So very interested to see how some of the after effects of the Beast War are infecting Gotham City. I think this cover also introduces this really interesting status quo over for the character of Batman. And I really appreciate how this tie-in issue is also going to bring in some of these other Batman supporting characters over to the comic book series. Really excited to see what Stephanie and Cass Kane bring over to this upcoming comic book issue. Plus, I think the creative team over on this one is really interesting too. Batman writer Chip Zdarsky is on board this title alongside the excellent Miguel Mendonca. Also curious to see what some of these other creators over like PJ Holden and Grace Ellis bring over to this comic book series. Really excited to see how DC Comics is set to check in with Beast World over in Gotham City. Let's go ahead and check in on another Beast World title that I'm also really looking forward to. This one is called Titans Beast World Tour Central City Issue 1. Written over from Spurrier, A.L. Kaplan, Alex Paknadel, and Jarrett Williams, featuring art from A.L. Kaplan, George Kambadais, and Serg Acunna. We have a cover over from Mikel Janin. Speedsters infected. The home of the Flash is not immune from the Starospores, and as a member of the Flash family is infected, it's all hands on deck across both Central and Keystone City. Irie West has a plan that requires the help of her BFF Maxine Baker, while Avery Ho, Wallace West, and fan favorite Circuit Breaker will all be working together with the entire clan to contain the infected speedsters causing chaos across the city. Oh, and the recent issues with Speed Force haven't gone away. The key chapter of the Beast World saga also contains revelations of the Scarlet Speedster's next step, as Flash writer Spurrier is joined by Speed Force writer Jarrett Williams, Circuit Breaker scribe A.L. Kaplan, and Night Terror's the Flash writer Alex Paknadel. As you can see, DC Comics has assembled a really vast team of creators to tackle this upcoming Beast World tie-in over for Central City, featuring some of these speedster characters. Very excited to see that some of the Flash ancillary supporting characters like Maxine Baker are featured prominently over on the cover to this issue. I'm also really interested in what Circuit Breaker is going to bring over to this issue in particular. We've only gotten a few appearances of Circuit Breaker over in the DC universe, but I'm always interested to see what that character lends to their individual stories as well. And if that wasn't exciting enough here, I'm also interested to see all of these ties back to that main Speed Force comic book, which tackles some of the ancillary characters across the Flash comic book line. Really happy to see the Solicit advertise and reference that series in particular. And I'm just so excited to see what some of the lingering plot threads Spurrier will kind of bring back into his upcoming Flash series. Very excited to go ahead and check out how Beast World is going to influence the Flash line over in the near future. Let's go ahead and check in on the extremely interesting cover over for Batman issue 141, once again written by Zdarsky, featuring art and cover over from Jorge Jimenez. ZUR-EN-ARRH has done the unthinkable, and now, cut off from everything and everyone, Batman has to face off against his most devastating enemy in a brutal fight for the future, as the specter of the Joker hangs over everything. The stunning conclusion to Mind Bomb is here. So I'm really excited about this issue in particular because throughout Chip Zdarsky's Batman run, over with creators like Jorge Jimenez, he's continually referenced the ZUR-EN-ARRH backup personality over for Batman. The violent nature of this personality and the way it sort of introduces so many interesting plot elements to that series has me really intrigued to learn a little bit more about it. And the way that Zdarsky has continued to recontextualize and explore Batman's ZUR-EN-ARRH backup personality has me just so thrilled to see what new gimmick or idea is introduced on top of the already interesting ZUR-EN-ARRH persona. We'll see you really soon over for Batman issue 141. Let's go ahead and check in on the upcoming issue of Birds of Prey. This is issue 5 of the main series, still written over from Kelley Thompson, featuring artwork and cover from Leonardo Romero. As the Birds and the Amazons double their efforts in fighting Megara, Dinah and Sin take the battle inside quite literally. The battle for the fate of Sin has now truly begun, and it's not something everyone is going to walk away from. The level of craft that this creative team brought over to their debut chapter of Birds of Prey, I thought was mesmerizing, particularly with what artist Leonardo Romero lent to that series. The way that Romero is able to capture really distinctive tones and personalities and offer so much subtext over for Kelley Thompson's excellent script was a ton of fun. Really excited to see that this chapter is checking back in over with the Amazons and is set to advance the plotline over with Sin. Really think that the Birds of Prey series is already in a really interesting spot with DC Comics, and I can't wait to see where this book is headed next. Alright, so here's a look at the upcoming Action Comics 2023 Annual Number 1, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, featuring art by Max Raynor. We have a cover over from Rafa Sandoval. Unfortunately, the cover that DC Comics uploaded for this issue was low res. So in the meantime, I went ahead and introduced this variant cover here. Nora Stone's true form has been revealed. Her gateway between worlds is opened and the invasion of Earth has begun. As the multiverse's two most powerful families clash above Metropolis, which legacy will Otho-Ra choose? Will the followers of Blue Earth defend their treacherous leader or their own home? It has all led to this 3 years of Action Comics culminate in this pivotal double-sized issue. Throughout Phillip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics run, I've been really intrigued to see all of the massive chances he's taken with the character, particularly in the War World storyline. As DC went ahead and transitioned into Dawn of DC, the storyline over with Metallo really struck me on a deep emotional level, and I'm hoping that Johnson will be able to evoke some of these same situations and feelings from me as we begin to explore this character in Otho-Ra in upcoming issues of the Superman Annual as well as Action Comics. Want to go ahead and introduce our final issue here. I always like to cheat and introduce one additional comic book over in these videos. This is Green Lantern War Journal issue number 4, also written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, featuring art and cover over from Montos. Still one of the most powerful beings in the universe, John Stewart is fast succumbing to the Radiant Dead, becoming something both more and less than human. With John's power corrupted, Earth is doomed to fall to the Revenant Queen, unless John finds a way to forge a new Green Lantern ring. More powerful and unpredictable than any we've seen, John Stewart embraces his Marine recon roots and goes on the hunt in this thrilling new issue. Frankly, I am really interested to see John team back up over with Steel to forge a new Lantern ring. While we are just on the eve of seeing the debut over for Green Lantern War Journal, we've already had some backups from this creative team in the main Green Lantern series. I think what Phillip Kennedy Johnson and Montos have achieved with John Stewart as the Green Lantern so far has been absolutely enthralling here. I'm also a really big Green Lantern fan, so the fact that DC Comics is publishing not one, not two, but three Green Lantern titles this month also has me really happy about the direction of these comics. Also, I think these characters are different enough that they all do merit their own series. Over in the Rise of the Revenant Queen backup in the main Green Lantern comic book, the way that we've seen the alternate version of John team up with Shepard, the Lantern in the Dark, to fight the Radiant Dead and Revenant Queen has been absolutely enthralling. I'm really interested to see if Shepard will be able to bring back our version of John Stewart and if he's able to sort of reorient him in the DC universe proper and kind of tear him from that really beautiful status quo over with his family. There is so much emotional intrigue that's been set up over for this Green Lantern War Journal comic book, and I'm so thrilled to see what Johnson and Montos have in store for some future comic book issues. So at the end of the day here, I think DC Comics is in a fantastic place over in the month of December. There's so many intriguing comic book titles that caught my interest this week, but we only had time for 5 plus a special bonus issue. I want to know from you, which titles are you most excited about this month? Are you going to be checking out any of the comic books we recommended? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out our video, and we'll be back to count down 5 of my most anticipated Marvel Comics titles, and we'll have a full review over for Green Lantern War Journal later on this week. Thanks so much for coming to check out the video, and we'll be back for future DC Comics over in the near future. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.